Who will win Wisconsin? To find out, we traveled across the state and interviewed 100 residents.
I voted for Trump twice. I will never, ever vote for him again. I think he is such an a-hole.
Yeah, honestly, I think they're going to go Trump. I don't think that a lot of people here are ready to vote a woman into power, frankly.
As an American right now, I feel like I'm slaughtering kids.
So who are you going to vote for this year?
Neither one of them.
We visited 5 distinct areas of the state: the Northwest, Green Bay and the Fox Valley region, Door County, Madison, and Milwaukee. Our goal was to learn what issues matter most to Wisconsin residents this year. We'll share one takeaway from each place, and at the end of the video, give our unbiased prediction of who we think will win Wisconsin. Our goal with these videos is to capture the state of America without bias or spin, and to share perspectives that big news won't. We're visiting all the swing states before the election. If you want to know who will win, subscribe. We started in a northwest Wisconsin farming community called Menominee. An extremely rural area, it was like a different country compared to other places we'd visit in the state. Everyone here was traditionally a dairy farmer, but they told us it's gotten much harder as big milk has gotten bigger and inflation has gotten worse. One ex-farmer told us, the price of everything goes up, but the price of milk stays the same. But nearby Eau Claire was a different world from that. Once a factory town, today it's a buzzing, progressive university town.
The most important issues are to college kids.
Abortion's a big one.
Abortion?
Yeah, especially for younger people. It's kind of like a freedoms thing.
Yeah.
Like body rights.
You think people are excited about the election? Kamala Harris?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a big step forward.
Yeah. Compared to Biden, more
Yeah.
so?
Mm-hmm. I think so.
People told us it's a hub for art and culture with a rich community.
What are you doing right now, if we may ask?
This is King's Closet. We are receiving goods from people. It's a free clothing giveaway.
Oh, wow.
We've been open about 15 years.
And then already since just standing here, we've seen like 6 different people show up and bring stuff. Seems like it's not normal, you know? It seems in most towns, I feel like that's not what's happening.
It is for us.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes.
Why do you think that is? What's different here?
I mean, Eau Claire's always been a caring community. You know, we're here to help each other.
Overall, our takeaway from this part of Wisconsin is that it's a deeply divided state. Eau Claire and the countryside represent 2 different worlds. One will vote for Trump, one will vote for Harris. Yet despite the division, Midwestern culture shines through. People were mild-mannered when talking about politics, and there was much less anger than in Pennsylvania.
Your take on the United States today, how do you feel it's doing?
It's not going well.
What's the town like politically?
Probably mostly liberal.
Yeah.
Next, we visited the industrial region around Wausau and Green Bay. This area was much more diverse than we expected. One rural town we visited was 50% Hispanic. The city of Wausau was 13% Asian. It was also much better off than industrial areas we visited in Pennsylvania and Michigan. In those places, factories were gone and towns felt dead. While some factories have left this part of Wisconsin, many have remained, and people told us there is abundant factory work. The issue is finding work that's not in a factory, someone said. Our takeaway here is that Wisconsin's manufacturing industry remains in far better shape than other swing states. Our guess is that helps Trump because he's promised tariffs to keep factory jobs in the U.S.
And we will impose tariffs on any company that leaves America to produce jobs overseas.
Next, we visited Door County, one of the only U.S. counties that's voted for the president in every election since 2000. The way Door goes is likely how Wisconsin and the U.S. will go. Door County is a quaint, forested peninsula sticking into Lake Michigan. The signs we saw suggested it's a dead heat. Half were for Trump and half were for Harris. People we spoke to told us the same thing. It's impossible to tell who's winning.
I would say Door County is probably going to lean towards Kamala right now.
Specifically, honestly, I think they're going to go Trump.
Yeah.
I don't think that a lot of people here are ready to vote a woman into power, frankly, especially a black woman.
Who do you think's going to win based on the vibe here? Yeah.
It's been very volatile the last 60 days with all the changes.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure everybody's picked their way yet.
Yeah. So we're still to be decided.
It's still a coin flip.
But people also said the cost of housing is the #1 issue.
I think even 4 years ago, 5 years ago, right before COVID, you could get a nice house for $150. Now, starting house, I think, is around $310.
Our guess is that Trump has an advantage here because people said housing costs have soared under Harris. And among the swing states, Wisconsin has seen the highest increase in housing prices in the last couple of years. Next, we visited Madison. On the way, we visited a dairy farmer who told us that he had voted for Trump twice, but won't this year because of January 6th.
In reality, neither one of the candidates will do anything for the farmers. It's because we're such a small voting bloc, they could care less. And so I voted for Trump twice. I will never, ever vote for him again, and I will not vote for anybody who supports Trump.
Wow.
Because I think he is such an asshole, excuse me, and he's mean.
Yeah.
And his economic policies probably helped us.
We guess there are a lot of older conservative Wisconsin voters who feel the same way. Now, Madison was overwhelmingly progressive. This is the only place on our travels where we didn't encounter a single Trump voter. Here, the biggest issue people raised was abortion.
That issue of abortion is on the ballot. So for sure, Kamala has a more structured approach towards rights for women.
Wisconsin as a whole has a little bit issues with, women's health care.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know.
I would say reproductive rights, honestly. Oh, as a 21-year-old woman. Like,
yeah.
Like
followed by Palestine.
The real Israel people, the Jews, they don't believe in all this crazy stuff. They believe in living together. But the Zionists want their own land. As an American right now, I feel like I'm slaughtering kids.
So who are you going to vote for this year?
Neither one of them.
Madison, the state's second largest city, will be a Harris landslide. Last, we visited Milwaukee. A plurality of the city's black, and we spent time interviewing voters in the inner city. People here told us that Milwaukee used to be thriving. There were abundant factory jobs, and you could live on a single income. Since the 1970s, though, the jobs have disappeared.
But in the late 80s, early 90s, a lot of those manufacturing industries left, and it left this part of the city with nothing to replace it.
And crime has soared.
Just be in the right spot so I can get your ass dropped on my daddy.
People are angry at the status quo and politicians responsible. Milwaukee has long been a Democratic stronghold, and that's not changing overnight. But people have the same complaints as Trump voters around the state. Factory jobs are gone, crime is rampant, the cost of living is too high.
the north side of Milwaukee became like an investor's town. The price per square footage was like so affordable, and then the rents just consistently went up.
What issues matter to you?
It's education, employment, and better houses, because I mean everybody got a landlord, but all landlords ain't good landlords, because there's a bunch of slump landlords. Oh, I say that, slump landlords. Depends on what you get. Probably a duplex might be like $850 to $1,000. A single family home might be from anywhere from $1,200 to $1,500 to $1,800.
Milwaukee also has thousands of yuppie white-collar types, most of whom will vote for Harris. Yet even they complained about inflation. Given all this, we think Milwaukee goes Harris, but Trump will do better than he did in 2020. So our unbiased prediction is that Wisconsin will be closer than Pennsylvania and the other swing states. Wisconsin is a lot less grim than Pennsylvania or Michigan. Trump's personality may not play as well among its mild-mannered people, and its two biggest cities will clearly vote Democratic. Yet most of Wisconsin's people live in rural communities and towns that lean Trump, and it seems that more inner-city voters and minorities will vote for him this year.
I think it's going to be Trump because everybody in the hood just going to want a stimulus, but they don't know that they're not going to get another stimulus.
Yeah, I agree with him.
Given all this and the fact that housing prices have soared and that seems to be the biggest issue, we predict that Trump has a slight lead and will win, but it is a toss-up. Our next series will be from Michigan and then from Georgia. Subscribe for that coverage. We'll be back in a few days.